Alright. Just fucking groove, right? Okay, we got a super can here. I'm overworked. Underpaid. Man. Gotta drink this shit. Alright. I think I can do. I got the Stein here. We got a 500 milliliter can of Groove from Tree Brewing Company, and it's a session ale. Brewed by us for you, Kelowna, BC, at 5% alcohol by volume. So session ale. It's actually quite cold. I got it out of the cold room at Safeway Liquor in Lethbridge here, and basically it's still quite cold, even though that was hours ago. It's getting kind of chilly out here, hence the plaid jacket. I don't need this. It's a habit, I guess, you know. So I get comments on the plaid, I guess, but I love plaid. I don't give a shit. So I had their Cutthroat or whatever. I think it was an IPA. This is a very long time ago. All right, so I hope this is good because I've been talking with some liquor store people. Not that I've put it in their ear or anything to get rid of some beer, but basically Safeways is not a craft beer outlet. Okay, so everyone at Tree, just keep that in mind. And I know that there seems to be infinite amount of market out there for the time being for a lot of these brews, but I hope this is good. I hope you guys are making some good beer, because it's not really hard. I make beer, so I know what it takes to make a good beer, and I'm pretty new to it, and it's not fucking hard. Okay. So it's not like people think that you have to be some foreigner with some ancient recipe and some secret fucking beer magic, because you don't. All right. So yeah, it's got kind of a fruity, malty taste to it. Color wise, we got a pale body here. It's a very, I'd call that ultralight amber, or a little bit extra gold, a little bit of orange in that gold. You know what I'm saying? So a great big crazy ass head. So we got about a fist of head, really. I poured that very gently. So I'm hoping this is good, guys, because I spent. This was pretty cheap though. It was like, I think this was less than $3 for this 500 ml can. So that's not really a bad deal, but it doesn't matter. At a certain point, if the beer's bad, I don't want it. So I'm already anticipating this to be bad. All right, so hopefully this is good. Very sweet aroma. It's kind of like a very fruity, sweet, kind of like a fruit syrup. A very malty, biscuity, bready, kind of like almost like a pastry dough or something. Well, I like the flavors going on here. Kind of a nice bitterness in the back, and then a malty finish, which is it's actually slightly unusual, but this beer is a little bit warmer than a lot of people would normally drink it, though, mind you. So I'm gonna get a little more flavor than most people would have this right out of the fridge. Absolutely, but this is quite a few degrees warmer than that. Well, you know what? The head is just densed up quite a bit. There, I'm getting a lot of barley husk, maltiness. Not overly malty though, but I am picking out, like I said, the barley husks and lots of parts of it. It is Um, it is a great barley flavor coming off of this beer. Really, it's better than I was expecting. But I mean, the beer I had, well, that was 2 years ago, and shit changes, and I'm just telling people because in the craft beer stores that I go to, the real shit beer doesn't it doesn't seem like it's going to be lasting too long, except for Rogue. Mm. Oh wow, that's a pretty good finish. There's a very soapsudsy head along the sides, but it is kind of dense. Usually those big bubbles mean nasty business. Well, I don't think it's maybe the highest quality ever, but the flavor is there though. It really does have a good taste. It kind of has a lower end craft beer kind of essence about it, uh, with the body and the head a little bit and the flavor profile. But it's still pretty tasty. Like it's still, I'm really excited that I'm getting barley husk and everything else, which usually means that you're sparging too hot. I believe. Like if you're tasting too much barley husk, it's because you're fucking scorching the barley. But I don't mind the barley husk in a lot of beers, though. You know what I mean? Almost a little bit of peachiness out of it and stuff. Like it's very sweet, really. I wouldn't call this a dry beer. It is dry in the mouthfeel. It's kind of like a dry pale ale in the mouthfeel, but I'm picking up, and that might just be a kind of a fruity flavor, but I'm pretty sure that's sweetness. Yeah, it's very biscuity and sweet. Malty. There's a fair bit of malt for this color. We'll say it's a little bit maltier than you might expect. Um, yeah, session ale at 5% with apparently a whole ton of carbonation. There's a fair bit of carbonation in the body. I'm trying to pour that without a monstrous head is impossible. Actually, it reminds me a lot of the beer that I got in this stein. This is from Mr. Mike's Steakhouse. This stein cost me $1, technically, because if you buy a gift certificate for yourself, which is what I did, it comes in a box with the stein, or it used to, and it was $10 or $11 for the thing, and you get a stein, and then you get $10 worth of food. So if you're gonna go back, this is the way of having you come back, and it was edible food. But I really like this mug because steins and glassware are hard to find. I'm gonna have to order mine online because I'm really not that impressed with what I have. But this is definitely, I get a lot of use out of this stein. So this is the beer they carry at that restaurant. It's Antler Ale, one horny beer, and then there's the Bighorn Lager, which I didn't have. I had their Antler Ale, which is another horny beer, but is technically incorrect because antlers aren't horns. Okay, and see, goats have horns, and antelope, or the goat family, but antlers are shed and stuff. They're like deer and elk and shit have antlers, right? Ah. Yeah, it's actually it's not that bad. It's very tasty. And there's a few. I do really like the barley I'm getting out of here. It's really hard for me to give a too negative of a rate on this for sure. I'm a lot happier than I thought I would be. And usually, like I do judge beers off of cans. I don't with wine, but with beer, and that's getting better. You know, it seems like if they put the effort into their can, they're putting the effort into their brew. And don't ask me why, but with wine that doesn't matter at all. But with beer, it seems to generally be a pretty good prejudice to go by. But actually, I would enjoy this quite often, like if I went to like a barbecue somewhere, or someone gave me one of these and I drank it, I'd be like, wow, like this is better than like what I would normally get handed at a barbecue by quite a bit. Like I would much rather drink this than Kokanee or Molson Canadian or any of that. So just get that out of the way. Is basically how I'm viewing this. It is tasting a little bit fucky, as Bubbles would say, but not like as bad as a lot of BC fucking craft shit. Like, and I'll admit, like, there's a lot of beers coming out of British Columbia that I'm like, I would almost dump down the toilet. Like, seriously. But I mean, there's a lot of good ones too. But yeah, so it's almost got a citrusy hop note actually in the back, and a great sweetness. It's actually a little bit different, and I think, but yet it's just a typical kind of pale ale. They call it their session ale. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 11, maybe a 7.25. We'll go 7.25. It's better than a lot of pale lagers taste wise. Quality wise, it is tasting a little bit flat in that department. But I mean, with the head and shit, and just like it tastes like it was sparged all fucky and like maybe mashed a bit fucky. I guess is, you know, in that department, it's a bit fucky. You know what I mean? But it is tasty, and I definitely recommend, like, at the price compared to a lot of craft beer scene. This was less than $3 for this can. This is a great party beer to take to a bonfire. Just throw a couple of these in the cooler at least. Like if you pick up a couple singles of this on your trip, like if you're going to go out for the weekend, I would definitely throw a couple of these in my cooler, and I'd probably do a bunch of other shit. You know, I'd throw maybe 2 or 3 maybe of these in for me, and if someone wants to try one, just hey, let me try that. You know, and then I would throw in a bunch of other shit. Just kind of like mix up a party pack and go camping. That would be perfect. But 7.25 is not a bad rate though, really. You know what I mean? But I think the key here is like mash temperature and the way this shit's getting sparged is going to affect whether this stuff stays out there. You know, and this is pretty good. Like it's a lot better than I would say. This is actually up there for British Columbia craft beers, which might sound messed up, but it's seriously kind of a problem right now. And like there's not too many BC brews that I could compare to Yukon brewing. There's just fucking no way. And this one is actually up there. So if I was gonna pick beer to go camping with, and this one was available, I would drink this, and I wouldn't be too upset about it. But it's definitely not a 9 or an 8 beer. And so, but it is definitely okay. Beerzerker, I'm done. My alcoholic fucking rant in your face. All right, I don't know. I'm just venting on that. Just a point that there's just because of the craft beers. I'm taking it serious, folks. All right. Fucking whatever. All right. I am out. Officially out. Not enough. I gotta know when to quit. Beerzerker, and I'm out.